How are you?
Hi, Micheala. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. Very well, thanks. Thanks for having us here, and thanks to Leslie as well. That was really interesting and informative. So, yeah. Good morning,
Brilliant. Well,
everyone.
I'll leave you, Micheala, to talk about your organization, 7 Billion Presidents, for 5 minutes, and then we'll do Q&A. Okay,
Fantastic.
look forward to hearing.
So, good morning, everyone. My name is Micheala, and I'm with an organization called 7 Billion Presidents, and I've been with them since July. And I'm actually joined by two of my team members. They're also in the current festival event, I suppose. And today I'm going to tell you a little bit about who we are, what we do, how we started, and how you can get in touch with us. So basically, to begin, we are a grassroots movement, and we started in Amsterdam. And I suppose the crux of 7BP is that we build companies and sell products where all of the profit is spent to build a happier and healthier society. So the model that we're using, the terms that we're using at the moment, is the 7BP Regenerative Economy. And basically, how do we do this? So with the profit from the products that we sell or the companies that we work with, we redirect that profit into renewable energy instead of going to shareholders. So this redirects the profit back into communities rather than it going to shareholders, and basically gives people more power with their purchases. With that profit, we install renewable energy in the form of solar panels. And then from that, it empowers the community to become more self-sufficient and more sustainable. So with the money that they save on the energy that they get from the solar panels, it's then reinvested into installing more solar panels. So 79% of that money that they save goes into installing more solar panels. Then 7% goes into local social projects, 7% goes into local regenerative projects, and 7% goes into starting 7 billion president projects in low-income countries. So at the moment, we have a small internal team in Amsterdam of about 5 or 6 people, but we also have quite a few new community members in over 12 countries across the world. So it is, like I said, a grassroots initiative. So a lot of people have been kind enough to lend us expertise and knowledge, and then we've had quite a few interns as well. Basically, to walk you through kind of our history, so we started because we were kind of, I suppose, fed up of seeing our money leave our community and not have any direct benefits. So 7BP was started in order to take back control. The first product that we created and sold was a beer, and the name was Beer for Mankind. And we partnered with a local brewery in Amsterdam called Brut Beer. I don't know if anyone's tried it before. Highly recommend it. It's delicious beer. But we partnered with Brut Beer, and we started selling beer with them, this Beer for Mankind. And with the profits from the Beer for Mankind, we sold all of it, all of the batch that we made. We were able to install 7 solar panels in our local community garden in Amsterdam West. So we kind of had our concept and we showed that it worked. And now our local community garden is very close to being completely self-sufficient. So we demonstrated that we could redirect this profit back into our community and that it could have a direct effect. So in the months following that, we've been focusing on building our network. So events like this are particularly important to us because we get to meet like-minded people and get to build kind of our community. We've also been speaking to other companies with a like-minded approach to creating products and selling them. So we've been speaking to a lot of coffee and tea companies in Amsterdam that are kind of as local, fair trade and sustainable as possible, about creating product partnerships with them. We also have a second batch of beer that we're going to start selling soon. Obviously, it'll be available in the Netherlands, possibly not further afield for the meantime. And it's called Social Beer. And again, it's the same principle. The money will be redirected, so the profit will be put into solar panels in local communities in Amsterdam. The idea of 7BP is that this process repeats and repeats until we have numerous, infinite amounts of communities who are running off this 7 billion presidents renewable energy. So I suppose just to give you a little bit about our kind of ideology, we have a number of paradigm shifts, so you can also see them on our website. But I'm going to talk a little bit about them because we also have a systemic approach to changing the current economic system and current capitalistic system. And we think that our paradigm shifts are kind of integral to that systemic shift. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. So the main one, and the first one, is from extraction to regeneration. So 7BP products and companies kind of abide by the rule: extract as little as possible, regenerate as much as possible. So this basically means that we use processes, both manufacturing wise and logistics, which restore, renew and revitalize their own sources of energy and materials. So basically meaning that the things which we create and sell are as low impact environmentally as possible. And products are also made as locally as possible and as globally as necessary. So it kind of ties in with that. The second paradigm shift is from competition to cooperation. So in the 7BP regenerative economy, knowledge and expertise is shared between communities and companies, and support is provided. So we want to foster an environment of competition and pluralism of cooperation and pluralism rather than competition, which you find in the current system. Another one of our paradigm shifts is because we are striving to build a world that's happier, healthier, and more peaceful with well-being for all. Our third paradigm shift is from wealth to well-being. So we are looking to shift away from measuring monetary wealth as the only indicator of wealth, putting clean air and water, people's mental and physical health above financial gain. So looking at wealth in a different way, not looking at it as solely a monetary thing. We have from consuming to giving. So in the 7BP regenerative economy, consumers are informed and educated, and they can make purchasing decisions which give back directly to their society. We also have from separation to interbeing. So we believe that our well-being is connected to the well-being of the communities we live in and everyone else. From control to trust. So we're building a society where relationships are built on trust and transparency. And finally, probably my favorite, a little bit hippie-ish, but we aim to transform the culture of judgment to one of empathy. We love ourselves, we love each other, we love all life. So radical love is one of our core values as well. So I suppose just to kind of summarize, we're a grassroots initiative, we're a group of like-minded people, and we're looking to change the current capitalist system by redirecting profit away from shareholders and investors and putting it into renewable energy, which can directly benefit communities and society on a whole. So yeah, I suppose that's it.
Thanks very much, Micheala. Now we probably don't have you taken a bit more of your time than the 5 minutes, so we don't have a lot of time for Q&A. We've got one immediately. Is it more difficult to grow, get started without the investment of shareholders?
That's a good question. So it's more difficult to get started without the investment of shareholders. Yeah, because you kind of have to go. I mean, our partnerships are built on trust, because when you approach a company, you say, look, we have this idea, we want to sell products, we want to put the money and the profit into renewable energy. There's a certain amount of trust required from the part of the company, unless we're starting our own companies, which we haven't done yet. We've been partnering with others. So yeah, I suppose it is difficult in a sense, but I think it just relies on trust and I suppose, yeah.
I think the question was more about that shareholders bring funds to do things. So if you don't have shareholders, you don't have the funds they provide.
Okay.
So it's difficult to do something if you don't have an investment and funds. So where do you get the funds from? So if you're going to start a new business, where do the funds come from to do that?
That's a really good question. And to be honest, because we haven't started new businesses as part of our movement yet, we've worked with established businesses already. I actually don't know. I can't answer it. But I imagine that once we do have, I suppose, more product partnerships in place and have a certain amount of profit that we can redirect into creating these companies. I don't know if I'm making any sense. Honestly, I don't know, because I haven't.
I think that's
just
fair enough.
with existing companies.
You will have, a lot of funds for new businesses come from reinvestment or of previous funds. So the next question was, what governance mechanisms do you have in place to ensure participants in 7BP do achieve its goals?
I presume that this question is asking that how do we measure our growth?
Well, governance is really about decision making and how people are involved in decision making and making sure that the organization is achieving its goals. Who runs 7BP?
Well, at the moment, to be honest, this is kind of digressing slightly, but at the moment we don't have a hierarchical structure. We're working off a holacracy, which is similar to how Extinction Rebellion works. So it's this idea that you have projects and you have people that are in charge of certain projects. So we don't have kind of managers or managers or like a CEO, for example. So I suppose it's kind of like in this system, this holacracy system, it's like everybody chips in. So, I mean, there's a huge amount of feedback in our groups. Everybody kind of participates in the same way. So it's really like a group effort. I can't really say that we have like governance in place, because it's not the kind of structure that we're working off. It's a flat structured organization. I hope that answers the question.
Okay, another one. What can people do if they want to contribute to the goals of 7BP?
Okay, that's a great question. If you want to contribute, if you are looking to start selling products or start your own company and you'd like to work with 7BP in order to use the profit for renewable energy, please get in contact with us. You can also just become a member of our community. So please follow us on Instagram and Facebook, or send us an email. We'd love to chat to you. And yeah, I suppose that's it, really.
Brilliant. Okay, well, I think that's a great moment to finish. And people get in touch. They can look at your website. All our partners have their logos linked to their websites on the Festival for Change website. And thank you very much, Micheala.
Great. Thanks, Lillian.
Bye.
Bye-bye.